Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Like many of you, I just got my American Express Platinum card, new and exciting benefits package in email. So what they didn't mention is there a new fee? And of course, yes, there is. And it's a pretty big whopping big fee. They're popping it up $200 this year. This will take effect for, I'm sure, renewals and anyone getting a new card. That brings it up to $895. Just call it $900 if my math is correct. That is a one big number. So, like we always have to ask, is it still worth it? Well, let's break down what the new benefits are, take a peek at it, and decide if it's worth it. We'll do some calculations for me, and you can do the calculations for yourself to see if it's worth it for you. Okay, let's go to PowerPoint. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen. Let's run through the American Express Platinum benefits. So, at a glance, these are all the benefits. Whew, a lot of benefits. As you can see, it's got the new fee. Let's just call it 900 to make our life easier. We have the American Express Global Lounge Collection at an estimated value of $850. So you can run your calculations however you want, but to me, that's not a benefit. That's the perk. And I don't count any of that money. That 850 is not my calculations in any way, shape, or form because that's the gravy of the card in the travel points of the gravy. So I don't count those. That's just my wacky math. You count it however you want. We have Uber credits, um, two different Uber credits. We've got the $200 Uber cash, like we've been doing for quite a while now, and then the $120 Uber One credit if you decide to join Uber One. Of course, these are all split out per monthly, so it's $10 a month for Uber One and $15 with a $20 bonus in December for Uber. So let's run a total over here. So for me, that's worth it. So let's add it to my list of things that count for me. So right there, that's $220. I use Uber all the time. It counts for Uber Eats, Uber Rides. It's all over the world. I use it constantly. So I use these credits up every month, and there's something I would use. They're an absolute benefit as far as I'm concerned. $300 digital entertainment. Now, this is quite a boost up. I don't remember what the number was before. I think it was only like 120, but no, it was 200. But this is a big boost up to 300. We'll talk a little bit more about how you can make this worthwhile or not, but it comes in 25 monthly statements. So basically, if you're using digital entertainment and any of their consumers, this works out. For me, again, a no-brainer. This pops in easy for me. I use these services. $400 Reezy credit. This is new for the card. I have other cards that have had this. Reezy, we'll talk a little bit more about this too, but it basically is a dining credit. You can do $100 a quarter with this. Is this worth it? We'll talk where these restaurants are, but for me, I kind of put up maybe half. Maybe that's only half worth it to me because I don't live in the US. Most of these restaurants are in the US. We'll break that down. But you know what? I do like a nice restaurant every now and again. I like to splurge. Probably not at once every quarter, but maybe twice a year. I think we can pull that off and make this worthwhile. $600 hotel credit. The previous one was $200 hotel credit. That was easy to use when you live abroad. Um, you have to do it in the fine hotels and resorts or the hotel collections, which, at least in the US, are not hotels that I would stay at. I am not that fine of a hotel guy. If you are, no problem, but I'm not. So I like a little bit lower end, not like Motel 6 low end, but I don't like to spend $300 or $400 a night in a hotel, which a lot of these are. But living abroad, for example, in Quito, a very nice hotel in Quito, I can get for $100 a night. So that's a no-brainer, and these come in really handy for that. So I think I can pull off this whole credit using this whole credit. That's for me, that's 3 stays in Quito. There's other hotels around the world that I can use this at that are hotels that I would stay at in my price range. Fine hotels and resorts, a bunch of benefits if you stay there. Yeah, it's not worth it to me. I almost never stay at these places. If you do, you get like tons of extra perks for it, which is great. It's just not a hotel I'm going to stay at. Those are just too expensive for my taste. $200 airline credit. Okay, if we're traveling a lot, sure, an airline credit, that's really easy. That's like check bags, drinks on board, food orders, things like that. Well, trouble is, uh, if you have status on airlines, all this stuff's free anyways, or it's a perk of the card. I'm going to put that as maybe a half benefit because what I do is I let my family that don't have benefits use the check bag fee and get free check bags. So I get maybe half of that. $209 Clear credit. When I use Clear, it's great. The trouble is, it's not in that many airports. It's very US centric, but I do sign up for it. I do use it, so I'm begrudgingly giving it a use there. $155 Walmart credit. If you live in the US, maybe this is great. It does nothing if you're not in the US. $300 is spread out over, what is this, 25 bucks a month for Lulu credits there. I had to go look up this place. I'd never even heard of them before. It's a clothing store. Maybe it's great for you. Does nothing for me. Saks Fifth Avenue credits, again, nothing for me. It's not a place I shop. So I don't even count those. But if you take the credits that I do count and half price, it definitely adds up pretty quick, well over the $900. So for me, doing this sort of math and thinking, it's well worth it to me because hotel, I think I could use. Uber, definitely. Uber One, definitely. Digital entertainment, right there. That's 520, and then even half the hotel credit, I'm going to hit it. So it's still quite worth it. Let's dig down into some of these other things that you've got with this card, though. So the $300 entertainment credit, this is right out of their ad. This is the places where you can get the credit. If you're a sports dude, awesome. Not me. If you're a Disney dude, okay, hidden pleasure. I do keep the Disney Plus membership so I can watch the old Law and Orders. Hulu, they don't like, they block me all the time internationally. Who cares about them? Um, Peacock, maybe. Wall Street Journal, totally. YouTube, totally. You know, that alone. So it's easy to consume this $300 digital credit. I don't think anybody would have any problem consuming that digital credit unless you simply don't do anything. And actually, Audible was on here, and I don't see that, but Audible, if you like, that was back on the list. So, and that's a pretty handy one to have. Let's talk about the dining credit. So this is right off their website. If you expand out the United States, this is a very long list of pretty much every major city. So if you're popping back in the US to a major city or you live in the US in one of the major cities, um, this is like a list of 20, 30 major cities. It's not like Chicago, LA, and New York. This is a lot of places, including my old hometown of Portland, even. So you can find a place to eat and you probably go have a nice meal there. Internationally, we're running a little slim here. We got Copenhagen, nice if you're hanging out up there. Italy, sure. Peru, Peru might be a little odd to you guys, but Peru is actually uh, a go-to place for international cuisine. You would never know it. But down in Lima, Peru, it's awesome. It's a 2-hour flight for me. I pop down there a couple times a year just to eat. It's great. Um, and you got a couple places down there. So you can make this work. Like I said, I'm thinking I can probably make this work in about half of the situations. Okay, besides all the money-saving perks that you can get on this card, there is a slew of services. I'm not going to go over these in too much detail because, quite frankly, I forget about them and I don't use them too much. But it's worth pointing out you get a lot of services. Uh, I hear the concierge service is great. My son used it all the time, and I keep forgetting it's there. I got to use it. Stuff like the global assist, the trip cancellation, the bag insurance. I know it's there. It's something in the background. This is why I use the card to book, but luckily I've never needed it. Same way with the rental car protections. I use them when I rent a car, which I try to avoid, but they're there and they're available to you. There's other ones that are not particularly super exciting that I think every card has. So these are kind of like just base entry for every card you'd ever get. But this card does have them, and they have a lot of services that you can take advantage of. Of course, we all think about the freebies that we get with the card, which is what we should be thinking about. That's the fun stuff. But these are other table stakes that are out there that it has a lot of that's probably worth looking at so you know what's available. As you can see, there are a lot of benefits on this card. If you do the math, break it down, I suggest, like I do, decide whether or not each benefit is worthwhile, if you can take full advantage, partial advantage of you, or if it's total junk and not worth it at all to you. Add up the numbers, and if it works for you, get the card. If it doesn't, ditch the card. Be merciless here. Now, like I said, for me, the lounge access and the points have to be gravy. Maybe that's not how you look at it. Maybe the lounge access is worth it for you. It's all what you need out of the card. As you can see, for me, this card is well worth it. The annual membership is well paid for without points or lounge fees, and I keep it and I love it. So I hope you find this information helpful. Let me know in the comments what you think your use of the card would be and whether or not it's worth it for you. And hope to see you on the road traveling. Take care. Bye.